Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Shaunneka and today I will be guiding you through a Yin Yoga sequence for the upper body. So this will also include the side body as well, and you will require 2 blocks for today's practice. Before I begin, I just wanted to say thank you to all of the supporters on my channel. I really do appreciate it, and if you haven't done so already, please hit that like and subscribe button. It does help with the longevity of my channel. So let's go ahead and get started. Our first posture will be a melting heart. So from your tabletop position, making sure your knees are in line with your hips, you're then going to walk your hands as far forward as you can and slightly wide, so maybe your pinky fingers are off the mat. Inhale here, and on the exhale, dropping the chest and the chin to the mat. You can untuck your toes if you'd like. Last few breaths here. Let's take our last 2 breaths. A nice big inhale. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. Push into your palms, round forward, and bring the belly onto the mat. Stack your palms. Just allow your forehead to rest for a moment. Very gently, you can shimmy your hips from side to side. So making your way into broken wing from here, cactusing your right arm, making sure that your elbow is slightly higher than your right shoulder. Bring your right temple to the floor, push into your left palm, bend your left knee, roll all the way onto your right side, bend your knees in towards your chest, and bring the right temple to the floor. Maybe you need to readjust that right elbow, right shoulder. You can leave your left hand out in front of you, gently pushing away, or place it onto your low back. Also notice if you're shrugging your shoulders up by your ears, really making space between your ear and your shoulder. And imagine you're drawing that right elbow away from you. Coming into our last few breaths here. Making these your deepest breaths. Let's take our last two breaths. Nice big inhale. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. If your left hand was behind you, bring it out and back in front of you. Straighten your legs. Very gently roll your torso and belly back onto the mat. Bring the left hand onto the floor and let the forehead stack. You can bring the right arm down by your side. Gently opening the eyes from here, and we'll set ourselves up for the other side. So cactusing now your left arm, making sure your left elbow is slightly higher than your left shoulder. Bring your left temple to the floor and bring your right hand down beside you. Push into your right hand, bend the right knee. You're going to roll all the way onto your left side, stacking your knees and drawing them in towards your chest. And then again, just make sure you're not shrugging your shoulder up by your ear. Make space between your ear and your shoulder. And then draw the left elbow away from you. Take your right hand up and place it onto your low back if you want, or you can keep it out in front of you, gently pushing away. Noticing if you're tensing in the upper chest. Allow the chest to soften and allowing the breath to come from the belly. Last few breaths here. Let's take our last 2 breaths. Nice full inhale. And side out. Again, inhale. And exhale. Gently, if the hand was behind you, bring it back in front of you. Straighten the legs. Roll onto your belly. Plant the right palm on the mat. Let the forehead rest. And you can bring your left hand down beside you. Palm faces up. From here, let's lift the gaze, bring our hands by our sides, and push ourselves all the way back up to a tabletop. From here, we will find a brief child's pose. Bring your knees nice and wide. Bring your big toes to touch. Send your hips back. Walk your hands as far forward as you can, and just bring the forehead to the mat. Nice deep breaths into the back body. Feeling the rib cage swell and expand to the sides. Last few breaths here. Let's take our last 2 breaths. Nice big inhale, fill up. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. Very gently lift the gaze. Walk your hands all the way back. Gently close the knees. And just find a moment here. Just allowing the blood to settle. And very gently opening the eyes from here and grabbing your blocks. So we will be making our way into Shoelace, and the best way that I like to get into Shoelace is to find a tabletop, and then I cross my right knee over the left. I then splay my feet wide and sit back. So you're going to take your blocks to the right side, and you don't need to use both blocks. You can use just one. The one block you can place underneath your bum to help elevate the hips, and that way if you find sitting in shoelace is uncomfortable, this is just another way to make it more comfortable for your body. So the 2 options here, you can have the first block on its highest height, bring your right elbow to the block and bring your fist to your right temple, taking your left arm up and letting it hang behind your head, or taking your left hand and bringing it onto your left hip. Second option is to bring your forearm, if it can go all the way down to the ground, or onto the block. Same thing. Finding which one works for you. So if you have your hands on your hip, you want to grip it in such a way that your thumb is on your low back, and it's almost as if you're gently pushing your hips down. Allowing the left shoulder to drop away from the ear. Coming into our last few breaths, you can stay here or begin to walk your fingertips forward, folding over the knee. Let's take our last 2 breaths. Nice big inhale. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. Gently walk your fingertips all the way back up. Lean back, uncross the right knee from the left. Bring both feet to the floor. Bring your hands behind you and just allow yourself to sink back into your shoulder girdle. You can bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Very gently, you can windshield wipe your knees from side to side. And we will do the other side. So bringing your blocks where you need them. Finding that tabletop position again. And this time I'm crossing the left knee all the way over the right, splaying my feet wide, and then sitting back. So the option is always there to sit on the block if that feels good. Bringing one block beside you, either on the highest height or on its lowest height. Bend the left elbow, bring the left temple, bring the left fist to the left temple. Right arm can go up and let it hang behind the back of the head, feeling a nice stretch in the right side body, or taking your hands onto your hips and gently pressing down. Making sure you're not shrugging that shoulder up by the ear. I know I have a tendency to do that. Allow it to soften down and away. Bring that stretch right up into the neck. Making our way into our last few breaths. You can stay here or walk yourself forward, bringing your fingertips in front of you. Last few breaths here. Let's take our last 2 breaths. Nice big inhale, fill up. And sigh it out. One more inhale. And exhale. Gently walking your hands all the way back up. Uncross the left knee. Bring the feet to the floor. And just take a moment. Gently opening the eyes. We'll be making our way into our final posture. We'll be taking a heart opener. So I'll just demonstrate with the blocks. Bringing the first block on its highest height. This will be where the back of the head will rest. And the second block on its second highest height. Coming to sit directly in front of the block. So you don't want the block digging into the low back. It's slightly away. So that when you come down, you feel like you can hug the blocks with your shoulder blades, and then the back of your head rests on the top block. So you might have to do some adjusting to find that sweet spot. And it's up to you what you do with your feet. You can bring the soles of the feet to touch. You can bring the legs out nice and wide. You can cactus the arms. That always feels nice. And just letting it all go. Feeling fully supported here by the blocks. And again, just notice if you're holding your breath in your chest, really allow the chest to soften and melt, bringing the breath from the belly. So thinking about breathing out instead of breathing in and up. So feeling free to stay in this position for the remainder of your shavasana. Otherwise, if you're looking to come out, simply lean over to one side. So press your weight into your elbow, roll to one side, remove the block with the other hand, and come to lay all the way down onto your back. Feeling free to stay here for as long as you'd like. I hope you enjoyed today's practice, and I will see you back here again soon. Have a wonderful day.